Pocket Full of Posies. Today's project is a mad rush to finish a Halloween costume for my husband. It's a matching ensemble that goes with my Victorian Lucius Malfoy costume, and I used a Laughing Moon Mercantile pattern for the basis of this vest that I'm making, and I was trying to get it done as quickly as possible. Obviously, mistakes were made, but at the end of the day, it was a perfectly fine costume. I definitely want to make some more costumes for my husband in the future, and I will take my time with them next time, definitely. But hurricanes and time constraints and what have you. I am pleased with how it turned out for the most part. I will give you my thoughts on it at the end, but for now, let's get started, and here we go. I began by making fit adjustments to the Laughing Moon pattern. I didn't follow the instructions or use all the pieces. I just used the front and the back pieces for the shape. I lengthened it 3 inches, added inches to the side seams and center back seam. I need to buy more Scotch tape. After making a mock-up, I started sewing the green taffeta lining pieces together, beginning with the back seam. Next, I sewed the side seams of the lining. Finishing up the lining with the shoulder seams. Lucius and Thor, my blue-eyed boys, got some pets. I should have learned my lesson with my Narcissa bodice and interfaced the stretch velvet of the vest, but I didn't. I was also racing a hurricane, so mistakes were made in haste. I pinned the fronts and the backs of the outer fabrics. I then sewed the side seams of the outer fabrics. I pinned the shoulder seams. Almost 6 o'clock, Hurricane Zeta is nearly here. After sewing the shoulder seams, I pinned the lining and outer fabrics together. I just bag lined this vest. I went to the machine and sewed them together, leaving an opening to turn. I started pinning where I wanted to top stitch around the neckline. 7 p.m., the wind was picking up. And the power went out. The next morning, the power was still out, so I sat by the window to pin the armhole lining and outer fabrics towards each other. Hercules supervised. After we got power back, I whip stitched the lining down around the arm size. I also added twill tape on the velvet on the inside to give it better structure and hopefully less stretch. Button placement. I bought these metal snake buttons on Etsy. If I can find them again, I'll link it below. I figured out how I wanted to space them and marked it. Buttonholes on the machine did not work with this fabric, so I sewed them by hand. Hercules lent his aid yet again. Finally, I sewed the buttons on. We wore our Malfoy costumes the next day for Halloween. Thor and Loki were a werewolf and pirate, respectively. Some final thoughts on this project. For the most part, I am happy with it, especially considering the time constraints and the hurricane and all of that stuff that kind of went into the mad dash to get this finished. Definitely, I would, if I use a stretchy, velvety material in the future, I will absolutely interface it. I'm kicking myself for not doing that to begin with, but I thought, oh, no, it'll be fine. And, you know, it stretched out of place. It wasn't even on the neckline. But for a one-time wear for a Halloween costume, it was fine, and I am going to make him a better vest if he wants to do a Victorian Lucius Malfoy in the future. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet and you would like to, go ahead and do that. If you'd like to support the channel further, I have a Ko-fi account and that is linked down below, as well as a link to the pattern I used as the base for this and any other relevant information I think you might want to know. Again, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time on our sewing adventures. Bye!